How's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live. It is my fault. We are late. Ricky and I were making sawdust in our shop and getting the second CNC, and I lost track of time. Thank you, Roger, for sending me a text and saying, "Where the hell are you at?"
Yeah.
and then you didn't know who he was. That was even more.
Do you want to jump in these comments real quick? And yeah, so Steve, you want to jump in the comments real quick, and I'll get set up and get this camera set up and jump right back on.
Well, so far it's just a lot of people saying hello.
Yeah, and I'll say bienvenidos de Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I am coming from Mexico tonight.
As you can tell, because he's not wearing a Mexican shirt.
I don't have one of my wild shirts on. I didn't bring any of them down there with me.
Because in Mexico, you'd have to stand out again, so you'd have to wear a regular shirt, right?
Well, yeah. So, Red is saying, looking at the A1 because environment price, then $50 more and get an enclosed Anycubic S1 with 4-color unit that heats and dries while printing, but it has a brass nozzle. You can still get a hardened steel nozzle for the Anycubic S1. You just have to gotta buy it separate.
They use
the Ace is a good module.
They use the same nozzles as the H2D, right? The whole hot end is the same.
Well, on the A1, yeah, the hot end's the same, but on the Anycubic, it'll come with a brass nozzle. But unless you're printing something like wood fiber or carbon fiber, it's not going to make it. You can use brass nozzle; it'll last you a long time.
Yeah.
If you get into the filaments that are abrasive, it'll wear that brass nozzle out real fast.
Yep. And Tim is he's saving for an H2C. That's because I ran out of things to sell him.
I'm waiting. I'm going to look and see if Bamboo does anything on Black Friday with the H2C before I buy. I am going to eventually buy one, but I wanted to see if they do something.
Yeah. So I mentioned in the comments there that Joel, 3D printing nerd, did a review of it recently, and he did not like the bed on it because they seem to have cut corners on the heating in the bed. So before you jump into that, before you jump into that, Tim, take a look at his video.
I'll be looking into that too, because I don't know why they would cut corners on that.
Yeah, I don't know. With all those things moving up and down, it just looks unfinished inside. It's like beams, girders flying around. It's just I don't know. I don't like it. But I guess if you want to print 15 colors in a model, it's the way to go for sure.
The Red is saying he really wanted to like the Century Carbon, but no 4-color. Kind of took it out. I haven't looked at that one really. But my thing with the AMS and the ACE modules is because I can run, the same color filament on different spools. When one runs out, the next one just takes over. That's my biggest thing. I'm not so much into the multicolor.
Yeah, I don't print color too often. Although, having said that, I got 8 different colors of filament in my AMS boxes.
Okay, Red is saying was hoping I might be here, and I'm here.
And here he is.
Well, actually, I'm in Mexico, but I'm here. I did a video several months ago on the S1 and wondering his thoughts on it. Now that he's had time to play, I love it. No problems with it whatsoever. Yeah, no problems with it.
Yeah, I've mentioned to Roger I was talking to Anycubic this week on a couple of different fronts, and Atom Stack is dug themselves out of invisibility to reach out to me, and we had a conversation about some new things they have coming too.
Well, there's Rick and his mini-me.
Sporting the same style of glasses too now.
Yeah, we both got new glasses.
Rick, if you come down here where I'm at, you could look more Mexican.
There you go. My family is actually asking me to because my grandfather's not doing too well. So I think I might be going down first week of January. So, but bulk of my family's down there right now, down south.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. You know, the thing is that my family lives really, really old. My grandfather's like in his late 90s. There's nothing wrong with him. Like, my whole family's freaking out. They're like, his kidneys are 80%. His heart is at this percent. He's 90, almost 100 years old. Like, if you're functioning at 85% and almost 100, that's pretty good.
No.
Like,
So what part of Mexico is it?
he's actually not in Mexico. He's in McAllen, Texas. But it's like you could walk over the border into Mexico, right?
Oh.
So
It's a whole other country anyway, right?
yeah.
Well, one time we had an elf on the shelf, and then it literally just put a note in milk.
But yeah, so we're covered in dust. We've been super busy. Someone said to me earlier today on Facebook, they said, because my son said, hey, once it's all cleaned up, we can invite some people over to show them all the new stuff. And someone said, yeah, Rick, you know, it'd be nice to see you start working again. And what I wanted to say is that, like, upgrades are like a pain in the ass, man. Because, like, as a small shop, like,
I did not say that.
Well, as a small shop, like, I don't have like thousands of square feet, right? So when we move things over, like, it just looks like nuts. So and I'm not making anything, right? You're running electric, you're doing this, you're doing that, and so you're spending money, you're not making money, and so I just can't wait till everything's settled in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course we have something to do after this. Of course.
Yeah, I was literally when you text me, I was literally like army crawling underneath the CNC.
Yeah.
and we have to do a 3D print.
How long were you there? You knew it was Wednesday, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, I know, but we just I knew it was Wednesday.
The big question, and I know all of our viewers are going to ask the same thing. Have you made anything yet?
Yes, so we made some American flags, and we made some generic, like I don't know, you want to say a candy dish, a change dish, a key holder, like those bowls that you'd put at your front door.
No.
So yeah, just that. Just that. And then we were just about to put the PWNC and CNC together, but I think they forgot to send me, hey, Steve, you know that bracket that holds the Masto controller screen?
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
You can just hold it like a.
So I told him, I was like, can you do me a favor? Because I'm the first person to have one. There's no like manual. I'm like, can you give me some kind of instructions how to do the wiring? I mean, even if it's written on a napkin, right? And so they sent me the instructions. So today we got everything set up and we're pull everything out of the boxes. And I'm like, well, how do you hold the monitor? So now that we have a 3D printer, I may say either you can send me the file or send me
Did you know that one of my friends told me that there's elf on the shelf made a little poo-poo out of chocolate? Audrey told me that.
So the elf on the shelf is coming back, people.
Oh,
Did you guys do that with your kids?
no.
No.
No?
Never did
Yeah.
Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah, maybe it's a newer thing. You want to do me a favor?
Yeah.
Do you want to go give me a couple of beers?
Okay. Well, I'll bring the elf on the shelf.
Get one for yourself too.
Here. Thank you.
Where are we here?
All right.
Oh yeah, so somebody asked Tim about getting rid of the numbers on his name here. Tim sent me a link to a video that told you how to change this thing. So
Oh, so there's a way around it so that it's
well,
not.
yeah, I mean you can change your @ name in.
Oh,
in
so like
in
I did, my
YouTube.
@ name and my handle are the same.
Yes, yeah, mine is too, but I didn't change it. I'd like to think I was fortuitous and did it right the first time, but
Yeah, some people have two separate names, and that's why they're showing differently than. But yeah, my name were always the same, so it didn't matter which one. I guess the only difference you'd see the @ symbol or not, right? But
no, it's not because, well, they might be members, but that's not why they got rid of it. They just edited the thing. So Tim, if you can post that a link to that video in the chat there if people want to go watch it.
Yeah, actually, if you're a member of the Facebook group, I would even suggest to put it in there.
Yeah.
Looks like Harold said, shots fired in Chi-Town. Rick, are you okay? That's a normal thing, unfortunately.
It's Chicago, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
there's just
Chicago,
weird
Chicago
shit going on in your country, man.
Chicago is the murder capital of the United States. But I always say that if you go looking for trouble, no matter where you're at, you will find it, right? So, and as bad as gangs are here, there's rules of engagement, right? They don't really mess with people that are not gang members. So you don't really have that problem.
Yeah,
Sound like
LA
you know,
has problems and New York has problems, so
Yeah.
it's not isolated to Chicago.
Sounds
Right.
sounds like you know a lot. Where's your gang tats, man?
More than you know. More than you know. I was a knucklehead as a young kid. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, I struck a nerve there, did I?
No, not at all. Not at
No.
all. I share that testimony all the time. Yeah.
Tony says hi from Cleveland, Ohio.
You guys got snow? Well, you don't, Roger, but
No, we will after the day after Thanksgiving. We're supposed to get 6 inches back home, which I'll be down here.
it was
I'll-
quite
I'll
warm
listen
and it
a bit.
just poured rain here all day.
Yeah, that's what we got yesterday. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? It snowed, but it pretty much hit the windshield and melted, right? So you saw it coming down, but it didn't stay.
The only snow we had so far this year lasted about 5 minutes.
Now we're in the mid to upper 80s every day down here.
Where are you at right now, Roger?
Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Oh, nice one. Nice one.
Wee!
Oh, shh. Calm down. Yeah, so we got the Bamboo Lab H2D.
Yeah.
We
You got
got
the Pro.
yeah, the Pro. So and we got I ordered I was going off what both of you said. Like, so the whole idea was like the staying with Bamboo's film was the whole idea that the filament profile's already set up, so that made everything easier. But as much as I would like to do it, and I don't think there wasn't a drastic difference or drastic savings by going an alternative brand, but they were sold out in what was expected. Like it's Christmas, right? So you can't buy green, you can't buy white, you can't buy red. But it's like, dude, like, you know.
Having said that, they sent me 2 rolls of green this week.
Really?
Yeah.
So I bought a bunch of Creality, and I was gonna give Roger a shout out and say Roger recommended that I purchase this.
Actually, Creality filament is okay.
Yeah.
I've never had any problem with it.
It's on paper spools though, right?
No, I don't think so. No, they're plastic.
Elf on the shelf.
Or are they? Because my
Let me go grab them. Here, there's so.
the one roll of Creality filament I've ever owned was on a paper roll.
Let me see if I'm a liar. I'm pretty sure they were plastic. They were plastic.
Well, those.
No,
I mean,
plastic.
all right. Well, okay. There you go.
Yeah, you got a plastic spool. I said we can get a cardboard spool. You'll have to print out one of those edge things so that it doesn't turn to
Yeah.
dust and mess up your AMS.
Yeah. So,
So I don't find I do have a paper spool of Pet G in my AMS, and it hasn't put any dust in there. Now maybe the 2 Pro is different, but it seems to be just like every other spool.
I know when Bamboo designed the Pro version, they did away with a nightmare of trying to clean out the AMS that they had in the original.
the top part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that in the videos. How now you could just open it, but it wasn't like that before. You had to like take all these screws off, and it was.
Oh yeah, you gotta take it all apart. I
Yes.
made the big mistake of trying to feed TPU through it just to see what it would do. Because they say don't do it. Well, there's a reason they say don't do it, and don't do it.
Yeah. So I got the AMS. I ordered a second one, so you can do the.
Yeah.
But then I also ordered, what is that called? HTS or HTC? It's the
Yeah, the HT2.
yeah,
Is that what it
HT2.
is?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I didn't bother with that one, but
so I bought an extra one because it comes with it. So I figured if I just mirror imaged what was already, I doubled up basically.
Yeah, I have two AMS2 Pros. I actually bought the second one by mistake, but as it turns out, I'm glad I did.
Yeah. So I like the logic that you were saying, Steve, is that not necessarily always that multicolor. It could be multi-roll, right? So you're doing a big print, so 2 blacks.
Yeah,
so
my thing is multi-roll.
Yeah.
That's my big thing.
Well, where you'll notice the second AMS is beneficial is if you're printing, let's say, 3 colors of something, it'll tell you how to arrange your filament in the AMSs for optimal, and it'll put the 2 least used ones in the same AMS, and then the most used one will be in the other AMS. So left nozzle, right nozzle, and it saves. They calculate the time saving. So they did a really good job on it, actually.
Saves poop, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, the first thing you're going to want to do is print a little
Poop shoot.
Yeah, well, you can use the chute. I just have I printed just a little cup. Somebody had just like a little rectangular cup.
Yeah, you need a poop chute.
Yeah, I saw this like almost like a box at the back. That
I printed it. I went through like, I don't know, a day of printing this long tube and into a can on the floor, and realized that it would take me about 300 years to fill that thing with little blobs of plastic. The little cup, like an H2D doesn't use that much to start with, so I mean, I put the cup on there the second day I got the printer, and I've emptied it once since then, and even then it was not full. It was just that looks good, I'll empty it.
The one thing I was looking at is racks, right? Because I wanted to double stack them.
Yeah. Oh, I should have sent you a picture of mine. Now, so I built a thing on wheels, right? And I have my printer and the 2 AMSs, but I didn't want to make the thing 6 feet tall. And I have 2 drawers underneath for filament.
Nice.
And I didn't want to make it, too tall. So I made the top one slide back so that you can open the lid on the bottom one.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Now it works, but then I thought, well, if I ever put the thing in my studio where I can't slide the thing back, it'll be against a wall, then I have to do a redesign. So I'll probably do a version 2 of that design, but I'll send you a picture. I can send you the drawings for the thing if you want. But
cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm interested. I've been looking at all online, and
now you got to make your own.
Yeah, I would just.
It's all just 3/4 inch plywood.
I want to go here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. What are you drinking, Roger?
No.
You sound a little low, but I hear you.
I don't think he hears us. Earth to Roger. Come in, Roger.
Where are we at?
There's just a whole bunch of people complaining that you're late.
Roger?
I said, I don't want a refund, but expect a free entry for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, that's so Chris said he wanted his money back. I told him we'd double what he paid.
That sounds great. So we do have a giveaway coming up on our 100th live. We haven't posted the links yet. I haven't created them for December. So I think one falls on New Year's, one falls on Christmas. So we won't do that. But amongst each other, we'll talk to see.
Did you know that
amongst them, we'll talk to see how we're going to move those dates around. But I would definitely encourage anyone to join the 100th live, because Roger's doing a laser giveaway.
Realistically, it's probably the week after New Year's, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you know one of my F1?
I thought we'd be going to Canada, Steve, but apparently we're going to Florida.
You're not allowed here, are you?
My wife's Canadian, so I think I'm welcome anytime, right?
She's welcome, of course.
Well,
I lost my audio there. Are you in my back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back. We hear you.
Okay.
So what are you drinking, Roger?
What?
What are you drinking? Captain Morgan?
Yep.
Nice one.
Just straight out of the tumbler there.
There you go.
Well,
None of that ice or watering it down for you, right?
It's got a little mixer in it, so
Nice.
it's with Coke Zero.
Daniel said the A1 is more reliable than the Cobra S1 I've had for several months.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
No,
have
I've
like
had
a-
several of both. I think that's a cool statement. Like I've had several of each of these. Must have a
Yeah.
print
Well, I
farm,
mean,
Daniel.
I've used
Yeah.
both. I mean, I have two A1s. I have one S1, and I haven't had problems with any of them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Roger, but there hasn't been any leaps and bounds really in CNCs, right? Just the biggest difference I see that's kind of new is that does the bed move or does the nozzle move? And the whole idea of the nozzle moving versus the bed moving is something that's taller. It may not rock, so you don't have misalignment issues. That's really
The thing with the bed slinger is because the bed moves so much, like on the A1 or any of the other bed slinger printers, you're going to have to wash. You have good bed adhesion on the like the P1S and the X1 and the S1, where it's Core XY. The bed moves up and down and doesn't move back and forth, and things stay pretty stable.
Yeah.
I saw someone do a trick the other day on YouTube, and I thought it was pretty cool. They took purple glue stick and they rubbed it on the where it's actually going to do the print, and
Yeah.
it's not making it stick better. It's actually making it being able to come off easier.
It does.
Yeah,
I have done that in the past.
Yeah, it depends on the filament you're using.
And
Some
in fact,
filaments
even
need
though
that.
I use it on Pet G quite a bit,
Oh, really?
even though it does stick to the bed just fine, it makes it a lot easier to get it loose.
Yeah, so I find with Pet G, if you just let the bed get cold, it's easy to come off. If you try and pull it off when we're all eager beavers, right? As soon as you get a notification on your phone or your watch that says, "Hey, the job is done," you go open the door and you yank the bed the plate out, and you try and break Pet G off of there. Forget it, man. Just let it
Yeah.
cool.
And I'm guilty of that for sure.
Yeah, me too. So I just said, well, fine. I'll wait 10 minutes and then you go and you can just peel it off.
You know what I saw a lot of people doing, and I was going to ask you guys, why would someone do this? I saw this clip they were using to keep the door open. I thought you'd want to have it closed. Why would you want to?
Depends on the filament. Now, and you won't have to worry about it with an H2D because you've got active ventilation.
Go get
But
me a charger.
yeah, if
If
you
you use a PLA, you want to have the door open. Otherwise, it'll get too hot in there and you get some deformation.
Yeah, well, if you have, like I said, if you have an H2 series, you'll have active louvers on the top and on the back, and it forces air through there, so it stays nice and cool.
Grab it for. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm grabbing our charger. Laptop's about to die. Grab it. Hurry up.
Okay.
So Red is saying planning on some glow in the dark, so hard needed, right? No, you don't. You don't need a hard nozzle for that.
That's just
Is it
PLA,
just
right?
getting hard nozzle, or do you need the whole unit? Third party only. Any cube doesn't have a .04 hard. Yeah, brass nozzle is just fine for the glow in the dark. It's just basic PLA.
Has any cubic gone with the same structure that Bamboo has, where when you change the nozzle, you're changing the whole hot end? Or do they have an actual nozzle change?
My hot end on my Anycubic S1 is a hard nozzle, but it was just a plug and play thing. I didn't have to change the whole extruder out or anything.
Oh, so you actually changed just the nozzle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the whole hot end. It comes as a unit.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Because that's the nicest thing about the Bamboo. Well, one of the nicest things is that when you want to change nozzles, you just change the whole thing. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah. Because I used to hate, back up with especially with my old Creality printers and even my old longer printers, when you had to change the nozzle, you had to get the little wrench out and burn the hell out of your fingers while you're trying to do it because you got to have the nozzle hot to do it.
Yeah.
Don't miss that a bit.
8:30.
No. So Harold says, "Where in Mexico are you, Walter Roger White?"
I am in Playa del Carmen at a place called Zamenhof, which is what they call condominios, which is condominiums. And we are about I can walk to town in about 6 minutes. Be
Nice.
downtown. And if I want to go to the beach, that's about 2 minutes.
Nice.
And I can look out the window and see the beach. In fact, I can look at it from here to see the beach. So
How's the weather right now?
right now it is 82.
Perfecto. Chris said, when people say the S1, my first thought is Anycube or X Tool that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, they have both. You know, it's X-Tool has an S1, I have one. Anycubic has an S1, I got one of them too.
But that's kind of funny that they did that, right? Is that almost has to be like a marketing scheme? It's a Google ad thing or something. Why would you not come up with your own? There has to be. Like, you know, if X Tool is putting $300,000 into an AdSense account to market S1, someone's like, well, hey, we'll come up as S1 too.
I'm actually surprised. Yeah. Well, I mean, intellectual property law isn't all that strong in China, but I'm actually surprised that they got away with this, because S1 would be potentially a trademark for X Tool, right? Like,
yeah, X-Tool used it first.
Yeah. But the reason a Porsche 911 is called a 911 is because Renault or somebody had a trademark on 910. They wanted to call it the 910.
Yeah. Well, Gordon Gregory of 4043 is saying good evening to the three of us. Thank you for joining.
We're all good.
Not sure what that pertains
to. Where's the context for this?
I lost track of the context of that. So.
Reliable in what ways?
A1 is more reliable than the Cobra S1.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't had problems with either one. I've got two A1s and one S1, and I have not had any issues with any of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know what he's saying though. If you use them a lot, one will just annoy you more than the other one. That's all. Right? It may not be problematic, but like I don't. They're not in my shop now, but I've had lasers in my shop that just annoy me for no particular reason. Like you turn them on and you're already grumpy, right? And
like they don't move when you try to use them.
It's it's nothing. Like they do what they're supposed to do, but they're just. Everything is just a little bit harder or a little different than you're used to. And it's, I don't know. I just develop a heat for them.
Yeah. Daniel Thomas is saying occasionally the color changes will fail on the S1 or take a long time. My thing with the S1 is I don't do color changes. All four spools on my S1 Ace are the same color. Nice. And it transfers from spool to spool as I'm running matches.
Henry Ford, they're all black. You got 4 spools of black.
Well, no, they're all white in this case, but on that printer.
He's not racist. He's part-time Mexican. Harold said, "Rick, that kid is definitely a mini Rick. That great little guy. He is." Someone once told me, don't give your kids everything you never had. Teach them everything that no one ever taught you. And man, that was like a model that like went to my soul. And I've really, really been trying to teach him. And this kid, he told me, he said, this year, Dad, I don't want you to buy any gifts for me to give to anyone because I didn't give them to him. You bought them. So I would like to make gifts for everyone myself.
Cool.
So he went in the big, we were talking to Steve that I only had 2 bins for wood scraps, and I needed a third. Like you're not a real conservative, wood conservator, or however you made it. Was jokingly till we had 3, so we actually have 3 now. We have a barrel.
So there's a couple of things you can do with those, right? You can the obvious one is throw them in a fire,
right?
But you can take all of those things and chop them and like glue them all together, and keep slicing them and making them these random things, and you can make a nice cutting board out of them. If they're all hardwood, you can't mix softwood in there. But.
Right. So that's what he's doing. He's gonna make his own Christmas gifts, and so that's pretty cool. Radu said, "Yeah." Go ahead, Roger. Take it.
Radu says, yeah, for $479 with the AMS the runs while printing and closed, I might pull the trigger on the S1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Aces, especially with that drying in there, it's a good unit.
I saw someone earlier mention something about Black Friday. I know Roger and I are both Monport affiliates. Monport has 50% off, up to 50% off on their stuff. Like, I didn't see anyone do that. So that's pretty nuts. So I'm sure Roger and I can both drop our affiliate links in our Facebook group. And if you guys are interested in purchasing it, it's not going to cost you anymore. We just appreciate the little love. But
yeah, and of course, I'm not a Bamboo Labs affiliate, but they're having some fantastic Black Friday sales on their P1S, the P2S, the X1 Carbon, the
H2 series is
S,
$300
the
off.
H2D. But so far I haven't seen anything in the H2C. Waiting to see
well, the H2C is new, so it probably won't have a discount. But the H2S and H2D, I think, are $300 off or $200 off.
I would say this too, is that a lot of these manufacturers now are directly selling the Amazon because they're basically using it as a distribution warehouse. Yeah. But Amazon now has this thing where you pay like $9 a month. I think it's $9 a month. And anything you've ever purchased in Amazon, either in the future or in the past, it's covered. And that's through Allstate Insurance. And it's 100%. So if you're buying something that's pretty expensive and you know it has like consumable type things, it'll basically be covered, which is pretty wild. So, yeah. And unfortunately, Roger can testify to this. Amazon is more of supporting of the customer than the seller. So it's definitely your advantage when it comes to any type of warranted product.
Although they're starting to treat customers a little less nicely than they used to too.
Well, that's why I think that they're starting to charge for that, because I think that some people are being a little excessive and abusing that. So if you're paying for that right, then they're being a little more forthcoming on that.
Well, something else I've discovered with Amazon, and I had to do a return last week. Normally, it's rare I have to do a return, but I had something that came was defective. We have daily UPS pickup, so I can just throw it on the rack, and when the daily UPS guy comes and grabs it. Well, now you have to drop it off at either Staples or Kohl's, or pay $7 to have them pick it up.
The returns, yeah.
That's kind of shitty.
Yeah, so here it's the same. It's Staples, or you can drop it off at a post office. Well, my post office is about 2 blocks from my house, so I choose that method, where Staples is a 15-minute drive. So, but it works the same way. You just basically scan a QR code when you get there, and you're done. So,
Tim said he posted a couple times.
I had to go drop mine off at Kohl's. Kohl's isn't that far from my house. It's just I was so used to just, if I did do a return, just throw it on the UPS rack, but can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'd bring it to UPS store. Tim said he posted a couple times. Not sure if it's not coming up in the chat. I see this one, so I don't know if we're caught up. But
I might have skipped past a few because there was just a lot of chatter going on there. So
there you go, Rick. You got a puppet. That's why I called him a mini-me, because he looks just like you.
Well, if you stood a little further away so that you both looked like you're the same height, you'd look like brothers.
He's been like, Dad, I want glasses. I'm like, you don't need glasses. Dad, I want glasses. But Roger, our insurance is phenomenal, right? So we went to LensCrafter, and I'm like, he wants glasses. So they got him blue blockers.
For screens.
Yeah. I paid $6.06 for Ray-Bans. And he has the Ray-Ban sunglasses that are gold on the side. They were 100% free because our insurance.
Sure they're Ray-Bans and not like Roy Beans or something?
No. It's LensCrafters, so it's not like, I don't know if you have LensCrafters in Canada, but that's like a chain store, pretty reputable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. So he has glasses. They're not prescription, though. Radu said, I don't think YouTube's allowed us in chat. Could you post it in a broadcast? What are you trying to post? I know that YouTube's been changing their filters, and I know a couple people said in the past that they tried to post a website and it didn't come up. But
Yeah. So yeah, if you're not the owner of the channel, you can't post things. You can't post links in comments.
yeah, Tim said he either put a space or put .com. YouTube deletes it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, I think they did that because there was so much spam going on with people
Yeah.
trying to promote their porn sites and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
And it's not so bad with people; it's just the bots, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a problem on my channel where I have to go through on the comments and delete spam like that. Of course, I haven't had to recently, but I would get a lot of that. They'd be trying to direct somebody to, different porn sites or drug sites or something.
So you checked them all out to make sure they were safe.
Yeah, Roger. Chris says, did you read the manual to find out why not to use TPU? You lose man points doing that. I had to do it just to see why they said you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I did it because I didn't believe them.
Yeah, that's.
But they were right.
That's
So-
a man thing, Okay,
Yeah.
you can't do this. Well, why the hell not? I want to try it.
And I guess the same thing happened to you too. It starts going down the tube in the AMS, and then it'll just stop, and you can't pull it out. It won't go any further in. It's like, okay, what do I do with this now? But I eventually got
Tony
it.
is asking, how often do you guys do maintenance on your printers? On my P1S and my X1 Carbon and my S1, I do grease the rods on it every month or so. And I keep the crap cleaned out of the bottom because you get poop that drops in the bottom of the printers all the time. I do
Do you
keep
use
that
Lucas?
cleaned out. But
Yeah, they actually don't use lithium grease. They give you a
No,
tube
it's
of just like Vaseline type stuff.
yeah. And there's a little tool you can 3D print and download. And
Yeah.
it actually does the greasing and cleans it off so you don't have excess on it. So
Yeah.
I use that.
Yeah, I clean mine when it tells me it needs to be cleaned. I do
was showing
sweep
that-
out the bottom of it quite regularly though.
I was showing that, Steve, because I bought it because you said you were using it. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I have a much smaller bottle than that because you've got enough there to make a challenge coin for everyone in the armed forces.
I haven't tried it yet, but I bought it. But I was thinking I had that Lucas grease, but I was thinking I would just stick to 3-in-1. I don't know. What do you guys use?
I just use 3-in-1 on your CNC.
No.
You mean?
Yeah.
Ball screw? Yeah,
Yeah,
they tell you to use 3-in-1.
Yeah, I use 3-in-1, either that or WD-40 dry load.
Since you're talking about CNCs, did you see the new Onefinity Elite 2?
No.
Yeah, go figure.
Oh, you mean the one that has the red line instead of using the
Yeah,
whole,
but they got covers for the ball screws, and it's
yeah, I did.
so I might actually do a little project where I print like an accordion, like a TPU type accordion cover for the ball screws. I just have to figure out how to get it on there without tearing the CNC apart.
So I bought this thing off Etsy. I'm lying. I bought a cable management and they gave it to me for free. It screws on, and when it moves back and forth, the brushes actually clean the ball screws.
I don't know. Mine don't actually get dirty.
You know what?
The,
Mine gets
The
more
rods
dirty.
get dirty, but
Yeah, I think my CNC gets more dirty not being used than when it is used.
so it must be terribly dirty now.
No, what I'm saying is just like the dust settles, right? When it's moving, it's like blowing. There's all kinds of, you know what I mean? You're likely to get buildup when it's just
Well,
sitting.
the thing is, a CNC doesn't make a lot of dust. It makes chips.
Right.
Like even the small stuff is still chips. It's pretty heavy. It's not going to blow around too much.
Well, it seems like I always have to wipe off my monitor. Like it's always because like it's getting like that static.
Yeah,
like,
it's static. So any dust, like if you used your table saw or something, any dust that's flying around,
Right.
it's just glued right to the
Right,
screen.
yeah.
Well, yeah, anything that's acrylic or anything like that, dust, it's like
Yeah.
a dust
Oh,
mold.
you did what I did. You left the plastic film on the screen,
Yes.
right?
Yes, but
so it's probably the plastic film that's actually attracting the dust.
yeah, I haven't taken it off yet. But when the PWN CNC, they sent me a screen protector for the Masso controller. It looks like a iPad screen protector. I don't have that on the Infinity. I just still have the plastic.
I don't know. I figure by the time it gets scratched up, I'll be ready to buy a new one anyway. So
There we go. There we go. Elf on a Rick.
Yeah, we did it with my daughter. We're not doing it with my son. Yeah, I think it's a difference in generation. That wasn't a thing when I was a kid for sure.
no.
Greg Spence says, howdy, folks. Welcome. So Red is saying, but is it okay to just change the nozzle? I've heard problems with third-party units. But if their thermistor is wrong, you have to put the nozzle in the original unit anyway. I stick with OEM hot ends and with the hard nozzle. And sometimes they're not available and you may have to wait till they get back in stock, but I do stick with OEM. I don't do third party.
Yeah,
that
it's
might
not
be
worth
bad.
it. They're cheap anyway, right? Well,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively cheap compared to a lot of the other things you could pay money for.
I just think it's one of those things that you don't have a spare, and then you decide to experiment, right? So
They
maybe
usually include one, at least one. But
right.
Well,
like
my
if it's
big
just a
thing is
nozzle, they'll give you a pack of them. But
I always have spares, and because I've got so many of the bamboo printers, all the spares are interchangeable, so I don't have to have a huge inventory.
Nice.
Yeah, Chris says reliability has a lot to do with your experience level. That's quite true.
yeah,
A lot of times people will screw something up and blame the machine, and it's operator error.
hey Jim. Jim says, "Good evening from cold and windy Chicago." Isn't Chicago always windy? It just really
well,
means
the Windy City.
it's only
back-
cold
back-
half the time, but it's windy all the time.
Now, back home, there's a big wind advisory for today. So in northern Illinois,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you,
not-
don't,
have
you,
that
don't,
here.
you don't know wind until you move to the East Coast and you live 2 miles from the ocean.
Harold said, "Wife and kids watching Dancing with the Stars kill me now."
Well,
Don't
now we
lie,
know why.
you know you're
And now we
watching
know
it.
why he's here.
what
know
you
you're
need to
watching
do, what you need to do is grab the wife and get up and try to do the same moves.
Yeah.
Speaking of wife, Roger, how's your wife doing?
Yeah, pretty good. She's sitting right across from me here. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me and wanting to know why I'm doing this. But
On your vacation. Yeah.
A love for the
yeah,
past.
It's
What can you say?
dedication.
Chris is saying we have a lot of retailers being busted for fake sales. We have a law that a price must be a genuine reduction, not price rise and sale to old price. And that's a big thing. There's a grocery chain around us that has all these buy one get one free on things, and you go there, well, it's twice the price, so you're still paying the same price when you get two of them.
Yeah.
And they need to do something about that because that's kind of fake.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Has anyone engraved on ceramic coasters blue diode or IR? Yes, I do. Use blue diode with a titanium dioxide coating or a white, good titanium dioxide white spray paint. Then you can clear it off with acetone afterwards. But yes,
I believe you have a video on that, right, Roger?
yeah, I've done quite a few of them on that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
blue diode. The thing is, both of these will only give you surface engraving, right? Like
Yes.
you're not going to get in. But you can do it with both of them. It's not
Right.
quite as good with IR, I don't think.
Right. So to me, like the whole thing is that if you use like masking tape or something, and then you were to color fill like with some kind of paint,
Yeah.
or a contrast color, then that's cool because you're kind of like etching, not engraving, right?
Yeah, but
if you
the thing
were
is, with
expecting
something
a
like a blue
engraving-
diode laser, you can hit the thing all day, and you're not going to break through the
Right,
surface.
Right. That's my
So
point.
I did a short actually a while ago where I used a UV laser and did a pile of passes, but it actually did engrave down, and then I did a paint fill on it, and it came out quite nice.
Right. So that's
Yeah, all the blue diode does with titanium dioxide coating, whether it be natural titanium dioxide or a spray paint, is it will etch and you'll have a black outline.
Just kind of
And
cooks
it is
right.
Yeah, it is permanent. It does go through the glazing, but it's and yes, you can color fill it if you have the patience to do that.
Yeah, if you want to do deep engraving though, you got to do either CO2 or a UV laser.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the difference between engraving and etching, I would say, right? You're literally etching, not necessarily deep engraving.
Yeah.
Chris said, Crazy Boy, it's been a while since I did it. Seeing great results using Rust-Oleum X2 white. There you go.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's just the magic elixir there is the titanium dioxide. Reddy says, Steve, we were talking about the link for you changing handles. I don't know how you guys have the same name. It tells me I have to have numbers in the handle.
I had mine since like 8 years ago. So
yeah, I got mine when they said, "Hey, @names are coming, and you can get yours locked in now." And
yeah, so maybe it's a new thing.
Yeah, although I doubt, like, I assume people were putting numbers behind them because somebody had already, in Rado's case, the first 61 people have already used it, right? But I doubt that name is common enough that there's more than him using it. So
mine is @Roger Shop.
Yeah,
I locked into that way early.
So I don't know.
It says it tells you the number. It tells you have to add numbers, but not required if the name has not been taken. There you go. So exactly what you said, Steve.
Really? You're telling me there's another Radu out there?
Guess so.
Put one more R in it. It'll be okay.
Let's say you're rolling your R's.
Yeah.
So Dan said, apparently Creality is releasing another bed slinger. The Ender 3 version 4. It looks cheap.
Well, I'm not going to touch that.
Bed slingers are cheap.
They'll probably send it to Roger. So we'll let
No, they won't be sending it to me. In fact, my the last Ender or Creality printer I have is an Ender 3 V3 SC, and I'm giving it to my granddaughter.
ABT Marketing says, and I'm saying ABT because I know the real name. Yes, I never really trusted Amazon, regardless of good or bad things people said about it. I've only ordered from Amazon like 2 or 3 times since they exist. Just a feeling. Amazon comes to my house 2 or 3 times a day, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I got to say, since COVID, I'm probably less now, but it actually no, it was probably this year for the most part, just because some things end up tacking tariffs on stuff for me, and it's like I got no tariff issues with you guys, right? You're shipping from China, so I've kind of slowed down a bit.
Amazon came to my house so much they ruined my front lawn. There was literally like a path going to my front door.
It's just, the thing is, most stuff is just cheaper on Amazon, right?
Yes.
And plus, I can sit here in my studio or in my workshop, and I can push the buy button, and I just wait, right? I don't have to go out and shop.
Right. Well,
that's like, my thing too.
It's even like Monsters. I drink 1 Monster every single day, right? And it's cheaper than any grocery store, Walmart, anywhere from Amazon. So I have it set up on auto. It knows, like I drink 1 per day, so it knows when it has to do the delivery. It's a convenience thing, and it's cheaper. Well, yeah. But Amazon
tastes terrible. Like,
I like it.
Yeah.
Red Bull to me tastes like you're drinking a rose. It has.
Well, you got to put vodka. You got to put vodka in Red Bull.
Yeah. But Amazon, a lot of people are going to start shying away from them, I think, because they said they're going to like fire like 600,000 people. They plan to go like robotic. A lot of these
Yeah.
factories in China now, they're 0% light because they're all robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't need
Yeah,
lights on.
they're saving the labor and they're saving electricity on the lighting and
Right, because basically like, that those lights never turn off because factories are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a
Yeah.
week. So that has
this
to be a
isn't
lot.
new though, right? I mean, when back in the day when IBM was making PS2 systems, they were built in the dark factory, and it was the same thing. The only lights were at the receiving and shipping department. Everything else was dark.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that was 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Crazy Boy said, thanks, Chris. I'll give it a try. I did use blue diode or IR. I've got the F1 Ultra. Yeah.
Well, I lost the context on that one.
No, that was the tile.
Posters. Yeah.
Oh,
My I uploaded my F2 Ultra UV video today, and it's currently sitting in. It was scheduled, but the default for my scheduling is members can see it. So 3 people got to watch it today. You know, so sorry.
Early release for the members, and then tomorrow it'll go to the public.
Yeah. Well, midnight tonight. I think it comes out. So
Nice.
so Chris is saying, Crazy Boy, yes, it was back in the day before my addiction kicked in when I only had a diode. Yeah, that addiction will get you. Yeah,
Chris said a
Chris,
Go
a
ahead.
blue diode just chemically bonds the titanium with the glaze of the tile, and it does penetrate into the glaze. So it is definitely permanent. You're not going to wipe it off or wash it off or wear it off.
Harold 4213 says, how many fucking Harolds are there? Harold Gardners are there? Apparently 4,213 of you. You guys should have some kind of a party.
You BS with the numbers. That's funny. If YouTube adds numbers, just random generated numbers.
Yeah,
Chris.
probably.
Yeah. It's funny. Chris said, what they spend on robots, they save on lighting.
That's true.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So a buddy of mine was a master welder at Caterpillar, right? In Caterpillar in our area, like literally like 4 and 5 generations like worked there. Like, so it was like in our town, the highest taxpayer in our town, like pretty much paid for all our schooling. And then they went from people welding to robotics. And since my buddy was kind of IT savvy, he became a robotics welder, and he would literally run 5 robotics to weld them. And then they finally farmed it out overseas. But
it's
you know.
I think it's the whole AI thing I think is ready to blow up, but it's kind of a short-term thing. Like, hang in there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody thinks jobs are going to disappear, but the problem is the first time something bad happens, people will go, why did we do this? So when everybody moved to cloud applications, it was like, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing. We don't have to pay an IT department. No, but there's been 2 major outages in the last 2 months. One of them, the first one, took down the entire global internet for about 10 minutes before they got most of it up and running again. But that one was bad. And then Cloudflare was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. You're putting a lot of your bet on somebody else's technology, right? And I don't know. I think it's all going to come crashing down at some point in the not too distant future. Oh, Chris says, yeah, my video only showed in his notifications an hour ago. Yeah, that's because I switched it to private until midnight. Then it'll open up, but it's queued up there as everyone can see it.
Harold said, Chris, they couldn't give me 007 or something.
Well, you can
Yeah,
go
that would
change
be
it.
cool.
You can go watch that video and edit and change it to whatever you want.
I remember when I did it, they said you can only change this so often. You can change it more than once. But
That's your channel name. Well,
Okay.
yeah, which is ultimately that. But if you don't have any subscribers, then I think it's still 3 times anyway. But it's 3 times in a given time period. So a year from now, you can get 3 more. I think.
I said give it a try and see if it's free. I'm not sure what that was about. Radu said, if I just look, you can choose a number, but like Chris said, you only have a number to name if used. If the name plus number, pick a different name. Pick a different number. Yeah.
Start with. Well, pick 0. Right? Who's going to use 0? Or 2 zeros. And then put a 7 on it, and you're happy.
Yeah.
Now, Chris is saying, yeah, but using someone else's infrastructure, you always have someone else to blame. Well, that's true.
Yeah, except that it doesn't help you when your revenue depends on it, right?
No.
Yeah, like look at Target. Target, they got hacked, and they took everyone's credit cards. They used to have their own internal IT, and they did the same thing. That's huge.
Yeah, you're putting the litigation on somebody else. Hey, Tripod's here.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for dropping in. We should.
If anybody out there's got any questions about lasers or CNC or 3D printing or sublimation or any of that kind of good stuff, fire away. We'll be glad to address it.
Hey, in Tripod Garage, if you ever want to jump on the live with us at some point, let us know.
You should come out.
Be cool.
Rick misses every second week, so you can be a guest on one of those weeks.
It's been crazy. You know what the thing is? It's and I have to go to all the court hearings for my permit request for all the work that we do in the Midwest. And the end of the year gets crazy because we're gearing up for the beginning of the year, and sometimes we have to go 4 times just for one location. I actually turned my expense in today. My boss said, I did not approve it. But like, Rick, you really drove that much? And I'm like, yes. I'm like, dude, like, it's legit. Like, I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. Nothing's like, he's like, man, you really been driving all over.
You get a company truck.
I think they give you, I mean, it's like $300, $350 a month I'll get sometimes just in driving. But yeah. But the thing is, I could be driving. I drive a lot. So, Roger, do you offer leather coasters?
I don't, because even though I have ventilation and a sealed laser and class 1, I cannot stand that smell.
You gotta get a UV laser, man.
Yeah. So JDS, if you guys haven't seen them, JDS has these leather coasters that are pretty cool. And they have leather patches, or they even have just leather in general you can cut inside yourself. And they have other colors behind the leather. So you could have a brown and then gold, or you could have black and then red, all these different color palettes. So they're pretty cool. We use them for hats.
Can anyone hear me, or I'm just talking to myself?
They can hear you.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Uh-oh, we got a dad joke here. So what's the difference? What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? People in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do. Dad joke. Dad joke.
It's Radu's weekly dad joke.
Chris says, great idea at work. Franken A. Oh, he got the 007. That's awesome.
There you go. Mission accomplished.
I have to step away here for just a minute.
Ricky saying 6'7", not 007.
6'7".
Oh no, not 6'7". So I did that to my wife the other day. She said something, and I said, 6'7". She went, "What the hell does that mean?"
he came home saying this 6'7". I'm like, what the heck? So we got the.
It's because it was the 67th day of kindergarten for me, and everyone
Wow.
got to say 67, 67.
67 days. You should get a gold watch.
So speaking of that, we're actually gonna print him a Cuban. What do they call that? Cuban chain, the links chain. They call it a bling chain.
Yeah.
Basically, a big giant chain that's like two-tone colors, and says 6'7".
Get some good metallic
A
filament.
Cuban link. A Cuban link chain, and it says 6'7" on the bottom, just to be. Yeah. So the whole idea with the 3D printers, we said that we're going to try to do practical, useful prints, not useless prints. Because I was actually scouring the internet and looking on YouTube, and it was like, what's something you can make? And like, look, dude, I didn't buy a 3D printer to make dragons. Like, maybe would I make one just to say I did? Okay, but like.
So I didn't either, but I have printed a dragon just to see what they're like, you know?
Yeah.
It lasted a very short period of time in my shop before somebody took it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it'll be cool, but I want to do practical stuff.
Yeah, so Radu says we talked about Longer and the shipping issues. You said you might talk to them. Well, so the shipping issues are actually with Eufy Make. They delayed their printers again. And I sent them a message, I don't know, late last week or early this week and said, hey, like, is there something you can tell me that I can convey to people? And they have not answered. So Eufy, if you're out there, fess up. What's going on? I got a feeling a lot of this, and Longer too, right? With the Nano Pro, they still haven't shipped the Nano Pro, and it's been almost a year. And I got a feeling it's related to tariffs or something, and they don't want to ship and then have people go, oh, now I got to pay all this extra money.
Right.
So I don't know. It
People
just doesn't make sense to me.
People waiting for the dust to settle to see if that is eliminated or something.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just waiting, hanging on, but I think that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah. So they sent me a message recently, again, apologizing because they said they wanted to make unique content for each one of us with the printer, but the marketing department's been using the printer a lot, so I haven't had time to make it. But
yeah, so I did put a video out yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
Just with the B-roll they sent me.
I haven't done it yet. I will.
So this is the Longer e-print we're talking about here. It's interesting. They are going to send me one. I'm not sure when, but
same here. And
like
I haven't done my B-roll video yet either.
Yeah.
I did mine, but I think realistically, I think they have like 3 or 4 of these things in existence, right? Now they did give one to Sammy. I don't know if you ever watched Sammy's reviews. He's a very high energy guy. He did one, and then somebody in, I don't know, Italy or Spain somewhere has like 3,000 subscribers. They did one.
Yeah, I know. I was so surprised.
But I'm pretty sure those were just loaned to them, and they had to send them back because they just needed some endorsements for the Kickstarter.
I was just surprised when I saw that, like, I think it had like 250,000 views, and I was like, wow, that's who they chose to send it to?
Well, yeah, everybody who's looking at them is going to hit it, right? So,
right.
I was wondering where Clack was tonight, but I see he's in the comments now.
So Tripod has one of these Yarbo one of these Yarbo they're like little bulldozers. He's got the snowblower. I think I would like to get one of these, actually.
Me too. I didn't know you were in Chicago, by the way. I've watched plenty of your videos. I did not know you're in Chicago. That's cool.
It's because he edits out the gunfire.
We'll have to get together for a beer sometime with Roger and I, since we're all in the Chicagoland area. Yes, but for us, that'd be so cool to automatically go out and plow your snow and all that. Be cool.
Yeah, well, I actually I had a brief conversation with Yarbo and said, "Hey, I'm happy to look at one of these things." Now, my wife has refused to let me get a robot snowblower. The lawnmower is fine, right? Because you can get out of the way. A snowblower is kind of a commitment, right? If you get your leg
Yeah.
in there, and there's a lot of kids in my neighborhood, so I don't know whether it's a good
Don't you
idea.
have a little dog? Don't you have a little dog, Steve?
2 little dogs.
So
So, you don't know how reliable these things are. It's like, oh, there's a software bug. We'll just fix that so it won't happen again. Yeah. Meanwhile, my dog is in the snowbank somewhere, right?
Yeah, right. Dude said
Red
no
is
nano
saying-
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Nano Duo shipping issues just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, but that one is everywhere, right? So I actually had a prototype Nano when I did my review, and I sent it back to them, and they said, we'll send you a production one when they're ready. I still don't have one.
Doesn't
No,
Tyler
I'm
has
okay
one.
with that. I
Skylar
don't
has
need
one.
one.
Skylar has one, right?
A Nano Pro, maybe, but maybe she didn't send hers back. No, she did send hers back
Good
because
centers back. But I
Yeah.
thought she got a new one since then.
oh, maybe, I don't know. I haven't talked to her about that. But yeah, it's I don't know. There's something going on with just shipping in general for a lot of these companies, and
Yeah,
it's
Clark said they wanted me to do a reaction video, not my thing.
yeah, it wasn't mine either, but it's although having said that, Clack, you're I guess, well, it's not really a reaction video since you have one. Your X-Tool F2 UV Ultra video was doing quite well. So
To be honest with you, I generally tell someone immediately no that I will not have any kind of video content without physically using it. The only reason I agreed to
yeah,
do it is because that we have a past relationship, and I've used their products in the past, so I wasn't.
yeah. And
concerned.
I was the same, right? Like when it ended up, my video ended up getting posted up into the longer ePrint Facebook group, and somebody complained that I didn't have one. It's like, well, no one has one, right?
No.
So, and I explained the only reason I did it was because I've been, I've known Longer for years, and we've done a lot of work together. So,
Well, it's the same with me, and I kind of pushed the E1 here a couple weeks ago on our live stream here, and showed a few of the features of it, but I don't have one yet either. I
Yeah,
will eventually.
They just joined our Facebook group today. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Longer did.
Yes.
Oh, good
Yeah,
deal.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, having said that, I think it's actually going to be a pretty nice printer.
Yeah.
So these, like, you can print things up to 60 millimeters tall, which is what, 2.5 inches or something. That's getting into 3D printer territory, right? Like, like, I mean, it's pretty big.
They definitely tried to one up the Oofy printer, right? Like it was like, I think that's
Well, they did a couple of things, right? They added the big reservoir, so you can use anybody's ink. And ironically, I mean, the first, like when I got my Eufy Make E1, it was pretty close to a year ago. It was like 10 months ago anyway. And I said to them, you got to be careful selling things like containers for ink, right? Because people are going to hate that. Now, it shockingly didn't get the reaction I expected it was going to get, but it's going to shine like a scab right now because Longer has these big reservoirs and you can just use anybody's ink, right? So
I get it though, because the whole point is that, like, how do you market a product to say it's going to do something, and the entire product is designed around you using your proprietary inks, right? And then they go out and buy some Joe Schmoes ink, and then you're mad that either one, you ruined the print head, or two, it doesn't perform the way they said. So you immediately get like a bad reputation, and I'm sure the aftermarket ink is going to be way cheaper. So my thing is that they should just flat out offer a bulk ink. Hey, you can buy it by a gallon. You know what I mean?
Well,
That
they
type of-
do. So Longer will, right? They have big bottles. I think they're half liters or something. So they'll offer that, and I'm sure it'll be competitive. Otherwise, they wouldn't sell
Right.
any. But
Right, and
a couple of people have mentioned this to me. Oh, we can use anybody's ink, so it'll be a lot cheaper. And I gave them the same caution, which is you can buy some pretty cheap ink on places like Amazon, and you probably don't want to put that in your printer.
Yeah.
And in the ePrint 2 heads, right? Not just one.
right.
So all ATB marketing is saying if the schools knew what 6 to 7 meant, they would allow the students to say it or wear anything with the number 6 to 7. Probably remove the numbers from the sports uniforms. I guess I'm out of the loop because I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Somebody has determined that 6-7 is terrible, right? It's like, I mean, you know what kids are like, right? They come up with phrases that don't actually mean anything, but they're somehow secret code for just about everything.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, will the torque of a NEMA 23, currently NEMA 17s, be too great for a belt-driven CNC? No.
No.
No, not at all.
Well, it depends. If the belt is like, I don't know, 5 millimeter, the torque might tear the teeth off it, but you can control you can change the torque profile anyway so that it ramps up, the acceleration is a little less.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, and Tripod said, I'm a concealed carry for a reason. And I always said Mexicans always concealed carry. We didn't need a license.
Sometimes it's concealed under the seat.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's in the glove compartment.
Yeah. No, only thing I would say about this, and I don't mean to get on this bandwagon, is, but I tell people all the time that want to go get their concealed carry, and I say, look, are you willing to kill someone? Are you capable of killing someone? And if the answer is no, my suggestion is don't get a concealed carry. And the reason I say this is because if the other person doesn't have a firearm and you don't have the nerve to use it, you just thought it was a scare tactic. If they take it off you, they have a firearm now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the only thing I say about concealed carry. Like, you better be able to use it if you're gonna pull it out. Don't. It's not a scare tactic. It's a gun. So
Here you go, Steve. A flamethrower is the most fun snowblower from what he's heard.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's funny?
Given that he's in Australia, yeah, he's probably only heard this.
So my sister put me onto this. She got a job helping with doing snowplow, and I says, "How are you doing snowplow?" And she says, "Well, the snowplow company got a contract with banks, and the banks won't allow plows to drive through the teller lanes because they're too expensive. All the equipment, and want you to hit it. So they just put backpack blowers on, and since the heat is so hot coming out of the backpack blower, it melts all the snow." And I said, "No way!" So I went one of my garage. I took my still backpack blower, started it. I blew the snow on the sidewalk and it just blew away, melted it. And I was like, "That is nuts." It's like one of those comments, like, "How old were you when you learned this?" You know what
Today,
I mean?
today I learned. I was today years old when I learned this. Right?
Yeah, I could not believe it. It like completely melted. Not like you're sitting there for a long time. Like, it just works pretty fast.
And what is it? Just a leaf blower?
Yeah, just a backpack leaf blower.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it was maybe 6 inches. I might, and I didn't do my driveway. It's like 100 foot, but I did my sidewalks, and literally like they're bone dry. It was just melting it and blowing it away. I was like, this is crazy, but yeah. So maybe not as strong as a flamethrower, but
well, you need the those big propane torch things that they use for putting tar on roofs.
Yeah,
you need one of those.
I use that for my gravel driveway.
Because melt it off.
No. If any weeds or anything grow in the gravel, I just walk by there and kill everything. Radu said, just thinking about the longer ePrint schedule for June 2026, they may ship by 2027.
Yeah, well, I was about to say longer isn't this way, but the Nano Pro comes to mind right away. But normally they're not. I don't know what the issue is. It's got to be tariffs or governmental paperwork or something. But
what I would say too is that the
it's
market's
odd.
drastically changing in this technology, right? So like,
Yeah,
so they're going down a rabbit hole a certain way, and 3 months from now they could scrap it. You know what I mean? Like that's how drastic things are improving. Like, we are
yeah.
at
Well,
crazy times.
yeah. I was talking to Yuffie Make this week or last week, I guess, and I cautioned them on get your shit out the door, because people, I've already had, I don't know, half a dozen people who watch my channel saying, hey, should I cancel my Yuffie Make reservation and get an e-print?
Yeah.
I've they're both friends of the channel, but I'm not gonna say no, right? Because Yuffie Make hasn't shipped yet.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know what the issue is, because I've got a production E1 sitting on my workbench and I use it quite often, almost every day, and it works perfectly. So I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah. Have you
And
just
I mean,
flat out asked
I like it as a printer. Like, the thing works. It does all its own maintenance. It's great, but you got to get them out the door.
Steve, have you just flat out asked them that question? Like, is
Yeah.
there and have just no response?
They have not responded to that question.
Crazy. Harold said, "What is 6'7"?"
Yeah, see, I don't know either. I'm out of the loop here or something.
Google's your friend.
It may not be appropriate what they come up as that we read.
I don't know. I don't know why people are worried about things, but
yeah,
like
Clark
its
said,
original intent versus what it's been distorted into might be two different things. But
yeah.
Clark
said,
saying, yeah, that was my response to them releasing info before the release date. I had to do a video, but still stay with what I had told them. I have 215,000 views. That's not bad.
Yeah. Tripod Garage said, I received 2 prototype nanos. The first was defective. The second one was defective. Had both sent back. That never worked. Yipes.
Never worked back. Yeah. My prototype Nano Pro was okay. Like, there were a couple of issues I had to work around, but I don't know. Like, I mean, it didn't look like it was that far from production.
The only problem that I had with the Nano
I'm not sure what the problem is.
was it not detected, right? It was something installing it. I can't remember what I did.
I don't know. It was something in Lightburn. Lightburn wasn't detecting it or something.
Right. That was the only problem I had.
Yeah, I just did a manual configuration and it was fine.
Yeah. Chris said using tanks means higher problems with mixing incompatible brands.
Well, yeah. So this is the issue, right? There are some really slimy inks out there.
Yes.
For printers, right? Like, people will take a bottle of water and turn it yellow and call it, here's your yellow ink. So I think it would probably benefit longer if they're going to allow you to use other people's inks to go through all of the inks they can find online and certify them for people.
I would just flat out, as a manufacturer, if it was my company, I'd say that you're welcome to do it anything you purchase on your own, but you'd void your warranty.
Yeah, that's probably where they'll get to. If
we're not going to hold you hostage to something. Like Epson went down that rabbit hole where they got sued because Epson printers, you weren't allowed to use third-party ink, and the chip would read it and it would reject it and not allow to use the third-party ink in this firmware they pushed out, and they got sued, and Epson had to push a firmware update again to allow you to use third-party ink. And they said
HP had the same issue.
Well, yeah, they've been doing this in laser printers forever, right?
Right. So, yeah. ABT Marketing said it's a police code. Might have clack report. It could mean I could post a meeting here, but it's better if you Google it. If you really want to know. Okay. He said it's 10.6.7. So my understanding is 6.7 was actually originally for some rapper, and it had some kind of meaning. I never heard anything about.
But it's just become the ultimate answer to everything with anybody who's under 20 now, right?
Oh, here you go. 6 equals the devil, 7 equals God. Trivial fact, the number is 999. Suspicious printers refuse to use it, so turn the digits upside down to avoid bad luck.
I thought the devil's number was 666.
That's what I thought.
Some rock band from the 70s told me that.
So that was law enforcement. That's how I know. Okay. Tripod Grad said he lives in Hanover Park. Oh, nice. I live in Oswego. I used to live in Hanover Park. I actually went to Lake Park High School. Yeah.
Hey, Jim,
TJ
how
Michael
many
said,
hours a day can you run a Bamboo X1C? Basically, are they built for running 24/7? They absolutely are, because I do it all the time. Obviously not right now, but because I'm on vacation. But yeah, when I'm home, they run pretty much 24/7.
You know what I saw, Roger, and I saw it on somebody doing a video, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Is they have print farm mode where they actually keeps what is it, like a script that just keeps running the same file over and over and over and over and over?
Yep.
I thought that was pretty wild. They actually had like a and then it kind of shook itself off, so the actual print fell off the printer, so it could put another one. I thought that was cool.
I haven't gone that far yet, but yeah, that technology is there.
Yeah, it's print farm mode, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, that's one of the things the Pro gives you, right? Is print farm mode.
Yeah. What is this?
Any thoughts on the Omtech Aurora? By the way, I decided to take the longer pill. There you go. He's backer 65 on the e-print. Wow, he's committed.
Omtech's a rebranded laser. I think you're paying for the support.
Yeah, Rich did tell us who made all these things, but
right. So the whole reason you're paying the higher premium price is for stateside support. Not bad mouthing them, but you get what you pay for, and that's what you're paying for. Now, Skylar said, I sent my Nano Pro back.
Yes, I thought she told me she sent her Nano Pro back.
Chose not to have a replacement. Oh.
Yeah, I told them not to bother too. I was just going to give it away to somebody, but what I did is ask them when it is ready if we could do a giveaway on the channel, and just have them send it directly from Longer, right? So
that's cool.
They agreed at the time, but that was months ago. So who knows what's happening?
The E1 is a batch of ink pumps were faulty, so they had to be pulled back and tested. I guess in the need to improve product recording keeping.
So that was the first delay that was supposed to take them out to December, but now Tim is on, Tim Sands. He said it's delayed till February now, which is why I shot them the message, because he was at my place on the weekend and mentioned this, and I shot him a message right away and said, hey, what gives? So now it's February.
It's crazy. Adam said, by the way, if haven't seen the new fire suppression system in the P3, dumps the entire bottle into the machine. Someone did science. LOL.
Did it for science. Like, yeah, what's in the bottle? Is it halon or is it like something else? And how much damage does it do to the laser? Is it like an airbag and you write the laser off after?
Right. So I would say that, if the fire suppression system has to work, it's probably because you went out of the room, right? Because you should be able to catch that pretty fast. And in the event that it completely ruins your laser, kind of like the Adam Set Craft, I guess you'd rather ruin a laser than burn down your home. And that would be your own fault.
Yeah, well, for sure, yeah.
This reminds me of a play. I was doing some work in a data center back in the 90s. We were doing a whole bunch of electrical upgrades, and they had a halon suppression system in there. And in the case of an alarm, there was a halon abort button. It's mounted 6 feet off the floor. But the problem was everybody that worked in there was handicapped in a wheelchair.
There you go. That's the safety officer hard at work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like halon will asphyxiate you in seconds, right? So
Yeah.
like if you're in a server room and the halon goes off, you got to get out of there quick.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be a fatality.
Daniel Thomas said, "Longer, reach out so I can make a video for you. You'll get tens of views."
I don't know. Mine's doing okay, but
Chris is saying, as far as I know, ink in China comes out of 3 to 4 factories, just get branded for the buyer. That could be true.
yeah, that's probably true. But there's 4 companies. One is Top Notch, and the other end of that spectrum is the colored water, and then the 2 in the middle are like, there might be some bugs and things in there, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is true of most stuff in like all the laser diodes and stuff too come out of basically 2 factories, right? Same with fiber lasers.
No, here we go. Because Ricky said 6, 7. The rappers use it as a police code as well, depending on the contents. Would you like me to post it means LOL?
Well, that's really the thing. It doesn't really mean anything, right? It can mean anything you want.
Yeah. So what I would say is that for these kindergarten or 3rd graders who are saying it, they have no clue. And let's just say it does have a deeper bad meaning. As long as we keep it innocent for the children, just leave it at that.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
So it was a Webster's word of the year in the dictionary. Now it's not really a word. I don't know how it made it into the dictionary, but it's there. So if you buy a brand new dictionary, you'll see it.
You can make a lot of things out of numbers. For example, next year I'm going to be 69 years old. So that's 69. That has a lot of meanings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of rappers, if
you're Bill and Ted, it's 69.
Yeah. And if you want to go rapper, 69. He's got it tattooed all over his whole body. And he's dressed like a rainbow, And he's not gay. He's just weird. Rainbow hair. But Adam said it's nonsense. It started with the song called Doot Doot. The song we played in Melbourne with
like Skrilla or somebody, right? Like some rapper.
Yeah, because he's 6'7", would throw the 6'7" signs. Yeah.
It's like I said, it doesn't mean anything. It means everything and nothing.
Yeah.
It's a sad statement of our future generations.
So if you have a laser CNC or 3D non-6'7" related questions, let us know. Although I do get it. By the way, we haven't said it, so happy hump day, and obviously we'll not talk to you guys tomorrow, so happy Thanksgiving. And I want to say something that I'm thankful for and that I'm guilty of. Confession Wednesday, I want to say. My father was pretty much a piece of crap, right? So my stepfather raised me. And I went out of my way to try to be the best father I can because I didn't have a great father role model in my life. But I think the biggest problem that I had was being a lineman. I think that, as a man, you have to be a provider for your family, right? So I'd work hundreds of hours. I get this $700,000 house, $100,000 cars. I think I'm doing something well because I'm providing for my family, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not spending time with your family, then what are you doing all that for? So when things changed in our industry and I changed my roles, my income drastically changed, but my also hours drastically changed. So I've spent a lot more time with my family. And what I notice is my daughter is getting older and she's 17. She's no longer my shadow, right? She has friends of her own. She's doing things on her own. So that if my focus and my primary purpose as a man is be a provider for my children, and I forget my companion, which is my wife, at some point in time, my kids are going to grow on and move out. And I would have lost that relationship with my wife. So I just want to say that I need to show more dedication to my wife. And I'm thankful for my wife because as a man, when people see you as success, they don't also see you when you're humble to your knees or when you're crying or when you're stressed. And you're confiding in your wife, right? Because that's probably the only person you'd be that vulnerable to. So that's my confession. Didn't mean to sound like a banter sermon here, but it was on my
I was going to find my Bible there for a second.
No, but it's true. It's true, and I think a
Nah,
lot of
it's,
us, are guilty of it.
we do forget. One of the hazards of capitalism is you can work really hard and make lots of money, but at the end of the day, you look back and you realize your hourly wage is the same no matter what, right? So, you work 100 hours a week or 300 hours a week, you're going to be, you're still going to make the same amount per hour, and then you're going to be disconnected. So,
Right.
Well, Chris is saying, LOL, now you know why everybody wants to be on their trivia team.
Adam said it's a DTF printer. Nope.
well, it can be. They do have. This is the ePrint. Well, actually, the E1 as well. Both have a direct-to-film print mode, but it's not for T-shirts. It's not that kind of film.
Right. So it could be applied to an apparel, right? Cloth, but it's not necessarily.
Well, yeah, not really. So, like, UV ink isn't really friendly to cloth, right? It's not like you could make a T-shirt. You could put it on a bag, or like I've made hat badges with flexible ink, which works okay, but it's not really for clothing. What it's good for, what the film is good for, is you can make something that's 10 feet long if you want.
Yeah.
But they get used for skateboards a lot.
Oh, that's cool.
So people sell skateboard film, right? And you buy a board and you put the film on, and you have a custom board.
I think the good idea about the skateboard, Steve, is that like they grind it on the first curb, right, and it's trashed. They don't complain, and they buy another one. Because it looks cool before they ruin it. Adam said would be an X-Tool apparel printer a rival, the Ontech Aurora. They look like they are expanding their product catalog.
Those are two different things, though. Like the Aurora is a CO2 printer, isn't it?
I thought so. Chris said, I haven't seen the 6'7" version of the Origin. 6'7". Yeah.
Oh, wait. There's more. No, yeah, the Aurora is a DTF printer.
Oh, wow.
That's they actually just came out with one, and it is a direct competitor for the X-Tool one.
So do they all have Epson print heads, or what do they say? What print heads are using?
I think the X-Tool one has an Epson print head. I don't know what anybody else has.
Yeah, I would say if it has an Epson print head, that's the one I'd go with.
Yeah, well, I think Epson owns the market. Like same with UV printers, right? Like I think the E1 uses an Epson, and the ePrint I think uses two of them.
Yeah. The reason that I'm saying that is because if you bought a printer that has an Epson print head, you can buy Epson print heads, OEM, and even unlocked versions of them direct, so that you're not like handcuffed to the manufacturer who sold you that printer.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest, right? There's going to be copycats, and as these other companies start making this, it would suck to buy a printer, and then all of a sudden they decide, they go belly up, and the printer's still going to run strong, right? But you couldn't buy a print head, so it's not proprietary. It's a reputable brand. You can still buy it if anything ever happened later on down the road.
Yeah, I don't know what this Aurora is like for maintenance, because you've done DTF for a long time. They need a lot of maintenance, right? But so one thing that Eufy make and now X-Tool have done is teach everyone else that the printer can do its own maintenance, right? Like, I mean, my E1 can sit for 2 weeks and I won't print anything, and then I print something and it's like I just printed something 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It cleans itself and it requires very little maintenance.
So the biggest thing with DTF is not color; it's white.
The white, well, same thing with
Yeah.
UV.
Yeah. So DTF color inks, they can be 3 years old and they'll work perfect, right? But white, you can't have ink that's older than a year because it pretty much is non-usable, or it'll fall apart real easy. And ink, there's some kind of metals in the white, and
Well,
they
it's the
settle.
same thing as Roger's tile scheme, right? It's titanium dioxide. It's
Yeah,
the same
and
thing with the ink.
titanium dioxide does not really dissolve in anything.
Yeah.
Right. So it settles. So you have to stir it. And then even with a stirrer, you have that stirrer that automatically stirs it. That paddle can't actually touch the bottom. So when you have these bulking setups, people tend to keep filling it up. At some point in time, you have to actually clean that.
Empty the paste out of the bottom.
Yes. Because all of a sudden that you take more ink and you dump it in and it lodges loose that chunk at the bottom. And now you're wondering why your print head's not working.
Same problem in UV printers, right? Like the E1 has the white cartridges have a stir built into them.
Right.
And you hear it churn away every few hours if the printer's just sitting there, because you never turn these things off, right? You can't.
Yeah, and then the whole idea of like the self-maintenance in a DTF or DTG environment, that sucks because yes, and you can do that, but what it's literally doing is flushing the inks. Like you literally have an e-waste tank that is literally flushing them through and just dumping the inks out.
That's what these UV printers, these hobby and home UV printers are doing.
Right.
In an E1, there's this big square box called the cleaning cartridge, and it's got cleaning fluid in it. And the other half of it, I took one apart. The other half is where the spoiled ink goes. And it starts out, it's relatively light, but by the time they tell you to change the thing, it weighs a ton. Like it's just full of like cleaned ink, right? But it doesn't actually use very much. Like the ink, it doesn't use ink to clean. It uses cleaning solution to clean. So you're not wasting a ton of ink.
Yeah, no, in the DTF environment, you are wasting inks and you have to wet.
Yeah, but that's because they didn't figure out how to do this auto maintenance. And I guarantee you're going to start seeing that in DTF printers if they aren't already doing it.
Yeah, I think what's going to big change in the DTF industry is everyone was taking these Epson printers and modifying them, and Epson finally said like, no. And now Epson has their own DTF and DTG printers, because who's going to know the printer better than the manufacturer themselves? So I think you're going to see a lot of drastic changes.
Yeah.
Adam said just CO2, old soda stream, blue bottle. They lit a tea candle. The bottle is probably around 70 below zero, and I doubt 60 liters would displace enough oxygen to harm you.
Well, not with CO2 in an open area. And yeah, when CO2 comes out of a bottle, it will be 70 below zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, halon is like ammonia, mega bad. You can't breathe either one of them.
Not for long.
6, 7. My son says 6, 7. You watch Coco Melon. That's what he says. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone on the channel. Thank you. Another happy Thanksgiving. Almost bought the farm in a powerhouse.
I was in working in a powerhouse. This was a long time ago. We're down in the basement there. The chemical company came in to fill the tanks, which maintains the stuff in the boiler. And there was a chemical called the oxygen scavenger, which replaces all the oxygen in the air or the water. And they had a leak. And there was 4 of us that could not get out of there fast enough.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Chris said, I used to call my father Mr. 110%. That was both good and bad growing up. Huh. Yeah. DTF better than what the fuck. I'd agree.
Well, not if you've had a head plug, because one leads to the other.
No, I think he was using the other acronym, DTF.
I know, but well, yeah.
So ATB is saying narrowed it down to 2 brand name lasers I want to start with. I can only get 1 at this point. Well,
So what is it? Let us know.
yeah.
It's right there. X-Tool or Aeon.
Okay, so when you're saying the 2 brands, are you saying apples to apples comparison? And I'm just making this up for, like,
CO2s, CO2
Right.
lasers.
right. So
Well, the Aeon you'll get with a bigger work area, but I don't know, man. Easy use. X-Tool has just focused so much on easy use. Like, I mean, a lot of people still complain about, oh, it's not light burn. Light burn's hard. Okay, you compare it to
X-Tool Studio. If you're used
Yeah.
to Lightburn, X-Tool Studio will take a little bit of learning, but not much.
Yeah, but once you kind of get through things, X-Tool Studio is so much easier to use.
so
Like, but you have to buy into their ecosystem. That's maybe the downside for some people, right?
yeah, and Eon, I had an opportunity to do a collaboration with them, but I chose not to because I didn't want to be exclusive. And not bashing them at all, but I didn't think that I would have a long shelf life, so to speak, as a YouTube channel, that if I could talk only for 2 or 3 years on the same laser, that wouldn't work well.
Yeah, sponsorship's a double-edged sword, that's for sure.
It was a big opportunity that I turned down. I would say it was the largest opportunity I've ever had. But unless it was I no longer have to work that opportunity, I wasn't willing to do it.
But not quite.
Yeah. If it was my yearly salary, I'm like, well, all right. I might have to rethink it. Adam said Amtech Aurora, I believe, is using the dual IP 1600s from Epson's and the IP 3200s, but the IP 3200s head is $3,000 alone, and the IP 1600s around $1,200 alone. So just be careful that when you purchase the Epson print heads, that make sure they're unlocked, because it's kind of like when you buy a programmer for your car. It marries that piece of equipment, right? And you can't use it on something else until you unmarry that and repair it. So sometimes some of these printers, they have a way to detect that, and it won't let you use it. So they want you to use one that's supplied from them. So if you buy it from someone outside of who you bought that printer from, just as a rule of thumb, you should ask for it to be unlocked, because then it wouldn't matter. They basically can't stop you from swapping your own print head. That'd be my only suggestion. And believe it or not, I've bought tons of Epson print tops off of Amazon, and I'll look for the guy's contact. But there's a guy in California that he sells a ton of that stuff. I'll find him before we end the live. If Epson versus clone print heads is still ongoing, yeah. You just want to make sure you're not getting a used print head. If you're going to buy one, make sure it's actually new. Because the last thing you want to do is put a print head into a printer and then it has a different type of ink. Like, so it could have been a regular printer, inkjet printer, right? Because that's what that print head's for. And now you're using it for UV or your DTF or whatever. And then you contaminate, cross-contaminate with all the inks. That's another nightmare you just don't want to go down. You want to take this right?
Santa's saying just got here to listen this evening, headed to PA tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, safe travels.
So, Santa, you had a question in the Facebook group about your laser z-axis going down when it should go up. Did you get that resolved? I wasn't sure what it was. All I could think of was your rotary was still enabled, even though you didn't have the rotary plugged in. But oh, well, there's the same question. Okay.
Okay, so just throw some isophorone. If the viscosity grows too thick with most tint pastes, MEC, whoa, that's some wicked stuff there. I use that with fiberglass. Or MIBK are good solvents for most inks and paints. Former color chemist Sherwin-Williams. Yeah, rip COVID job. Too bad. Yeah, MEC is kind of if you're going to work with MEC, wear gloves and a respirator. Be extremely careful with that chemical.
So if you've made it this far in the live, I'm going to do a plug. Make sure you join our Facebook group. Go to shoptalklive.club. It's not a website. It's just an auto forward for our Facebook group. I want to make sure that everyone understands this is not my Facebook group. This is not Steve's Facebook group. This is not Roger's. This is Shop Talk Live. And the reason that I'm saying this is because if you are an influencer, if you are a YouTuber, if you are a maker, share. We don't care. You're not stepping on any one of our toes, posting any of your content. Just keep it related, right? And also, as we start talking about these print heads, I want to pay attention to the content that's going on, but I will find that supplier that I was aware of, that I purchased a lot of print heads from, and I'll get him to start posting some things in the group because he's stateside, reputable, and reasonable as far as price if you guys do need print heads. You can go back to the chat. Sorry.
We were there.
Yeah, the Epsons were modified to sublimation printers. I have an ET15000 that I modified to be a sublimation printer. And I used it to get rid of my Sawgrass SG1000 because the ink on that was so expensive. And it did have it's self-maintained and everything, but you're dumping more ink than you're using. I hated the thing. I got rid of it.
Yeah, so I have a wide format Epson sublimation printer. It's not modified. It's an actual sublimation printer from Epson. And exactly what you just said, Roger, though, because it monitors everything, it does dump ink, and that kind of sucks. But it maintains the print head, but it sucks how much it wastes. Like I've hardly used the printer. Honestly, DTF is kind of a pain in the butt, and I thought my wife would go the sublimation route because it's a lot more user friendly. But I think she was a little thrown off by the Epson RIP software. It seems to be more commercial. It's not like just file print. Like you have to set up gang sheets and all this. It's more geared towards someone. So even though the printer was like print click, the interface on the software was a little more. So it hasn't been used. We've probably used it 4 or 5 times. But I would say that sublimation still does have a place in the apparel industry, especially when it comes to high vis, because they're polyester. And when you put anything else other on that type of garment, it just doesn't last. So
in fact, this shirt I'm wearing tonight, this is polyester. This is sublimated. I made this.
Right.
But
so
our big thing with sublimation is tumblers.
Right.
We do hundreds and hundreds of them a year.
So anyone in kind of construction, right? We all wear high vis. So sublimation is going to be your best friend if you're trying to get it in, and it's a cheaper printer. But there's an art and a rhythm to it. You can get ghost prints with sublimation where it double mirror images. So when Roger shows a cup like that, someone who's tried, trust me, there's appreciation and know like there's an art and a skill set to learning that, because as easy as it seems, it's not. Like there's a rhyme and a rhythm to how you do things. DTF or UV, you don't have that mirror image or that ghost image, and you can get that with sublimation.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's because it basically takes the ink from a liquid to a gas back to a liquid, and if you're doing it weird while it's in that form, it can ghost image and like create like a double negative
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Or if you don't have your wrap tight enough, or if you try to peel it before you should, and yeah,
Yeah,
been there,
there's
done
no
that.
yeah. So Santa's Living Graven said not yet. I had to finish some stuff, just so manual focus, and then went to the fiber. So I figured out when I get back at this point. So how is your shop? Is it dirty yet?
I don't know. He showed a picture of his laser, and it was still looked pretty clean.
Yeah, he just might be very particular on his keeping his shop clean.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just can't seem to get my neck clean.
I would not
or
turn
even
my
close to
camera on.
that clean.
Yeah, I would not turn my camera on right now. It looks like a train wreck in my shop right now.
So Adam Furman here is saying, LOL, you reminded me of a QC mass spec my current company bought offhand. They had not used it, and it turned out the license was locked to a company that had not existed in 10 years, collecting dust.
Nice.
Sucks.
Boy.
So ATB says, I want to be able to engrave slate and tumblers, mostly for engraving at this point. Really don't have things in mind I would need to cut at this point. If you're going to use a rotary for the tumblers, if you get anodized tumblers, blue diode works just fine. You can engrave slate with a diode laser just fine.
Yeah, so I would say there's two things. I would say that we had what is her name? Why am I lost her names? We had someone on our live, and she does a ton tumblers, laser engraved, right? Nikki, yes.
Good.
So people are going to say when they do tumblers, you could do UV, you could do CO2, you could do fiber, and at the end of the day, the reason like people like using like a Rotoboss type rotary on a CO2 is because they could bang them out pretty fast. And that Rotoboss rotary is probably super expensive. So, and as far as slate, you can do slate coasters with an extremely cheap laser. So it's almost like it's hard to say like I want to buy a laser to do tumblers and slating coasters because you could get away with a fairly cheap laser for the slate, but
it depends though how like Jim Hamilton on the call he's on tonight. He and I've had conversations about this. He likes his slate coasters to be blinding white when they're done, right? Like without having to treat anything, just bang them out. And you're not going to do that with a cheap laser.
Yeah.
Like you won't do that with a diode laser. It just won't get it white enough. So you got to be, you have to be educated, I guess.
Yeah. I think just the problem too is that a CO2 laser has a larger footprint, right? And you're getting this big giant laser for a little cup. So it kind of sucks, right? So
well, you don't have to though. You can get a small CO2. Like Jim has a Galvo CO2.
Yeah, they're still big in general though. You know what I mean? Like as far as
Galvo's the same, it's like a fiber laser.
Yeah. That's cool. But then that's a higher price too.
Of course. Yeah. It's definitely up
there. Yeah. So I guess like someone like Roger who does like tons and tons and tons of slate coasters, that'd be maybe up his wheel, so to speak, to say like how much money would you willing to commit? What you're always looking at ROI, right? What's your return on investment? Really, and you do tumblers as well. Like, what would you be your recommendation? What rabbit hole would you go down to be able to say you'd like a multi-laser to be able to do both of these things?
Well, all my slate coasters are done on a Lunger B1. All of them. Of course, tumblers, I don't laser engrave tumblers. We sublimate them. So we're down that path there. And same with coffee mugs. We sublimate them all. So I don't laser engrave them. Good, just don't.
Yeah. Maybe we'll put you in contact with Nikki since she does a ton of those and you can pick her brain on that. Laser engraving mostly now.
If you're going to do mostly engraving and you have, less restrictions on your budget, look at some Galvo laser because they're faster.
Yes.
If you don't want to cut anything.
Well, if I'm doing custom slate coasters, I use my longer nano.
Yeah.
If I'm not running a big batch, I'm just running 4 or 8 or something, I'll use a nano.
I use the nano for slate coasters a lot.
Yeah, it's fast.
But I don't make thousands of coasters.
Well, you should. You've got thousands, don't you?
5,000. Let me know if you need some. No, but
order another nano.
But it's weird. Like with the coasters, to me, it's like I sell none and then I sell a ton. Right? It's not consistent. That's all I would say. So
I sell none.
Senator Livegrave said, I don't think about checking my I didn't think about checking the rotary and light burn, but I was trying to autofocus from the machine controller. So
yeah, it probably doesn't matter though. It's because light burn will just turn it on.
Yeah. Tony said, "What? Excuse me, wife does tumblers." Steve,
it's comforting to know I might have been right when I, as he said when he finished it.
It's like we're just at time, so let's finish these couple comments here. You want to take some, Steve?
Adam says, "What would be the best method to adhere clear acrylic over glitter acrylic? My wife tried CA and it hazed." DCM. There is actually acrylic film. I don't know. I use CA and I don't ever have a problem. Maybe it depends on the CA you're using. I have had CA that does haze things, but whatever I use now, which is just whatever I grab off the shelf, seems to be okay.
My question is, are you talking about a tumbler, like that glitter, like on that rotary thing where you drop it all on there? So I thought people were using...
No, I think he's just trying to glue a couple of pieces of acrylic together.
Oh,
like if you're making a keychain, like a layered keychain.
Oh, okay. I thought we're...
you know what you can use, which is what I actually use most of the time, is just I put 3M tape on them. And when I cut it, then I just peel the tape off and stick them together. It's instant. It doesn't leave any goo anywhere, and you don't get any hazing. And you're going to need a hammer and a chisel to get them apart. And it's good for outside. It's also, you can use it outside.
Alex said, I just bought an Omtech Pronto 4090 CO2. Looking forward to getting here and getting started with my laser journey. It will go with my alt mill CNC. I've been learning to do as well. LOL.
That's a heck of a way to start.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. Let us know.
No $50 diode laser for him.
Yeah. Sure. All in.
Mind you, I started. The first laser I bought was a CO2 laser.
So she's making pet tags.
Yeah, there you go. Layered.
Well, looks, guys, we're at 8:35, so I just want to.
It's past my bedtime, man.
Won't by fast. I apologize for delaying the live. I lost track of time. Excited into this CNC experience that we're getting into. And preparing for the setting up the Bamboo Lab Pro 3D printer, since I have bad friends named Roger and Steve who influenced me down the rabbit hole of the 3D printers.
Tim Sand says I'm a bad influence too, as he was at my place picking up Carvera Air on the weekend.
Yeah. So once again, guys, thank you for joining. Happy Thanksgiving. Roger, see if you guys want to say anything on the closeout.
I do not. Next time, don't be late. That's what I'll say.
I won't be. I won't be. Sorry, we were just very excited to get everything set up.
I'll just give you a buenos noches de Playa Carmen, Mexico.
Thanks for joining. Sorry from Mexico, Roger. Appreciate the apology.
I'm sure your wife appreciates it too.
Yeah. Tell her we said hello. Thanks.
Take care, guys.